Week 3 of college football season, and we got ourselves a night game. This is Wyoming's second game at home and first game at night. I personally prefer shooting night games. I like to utilize the stadium lights in the background of my shots, as well as just being able to have consistent camera settings. This week's game is against BYU, a classic old rivalry between two schools who used to face each other very often. I'm going to cover the warm-ups and golden hour, using a starburst filter, show you how I make the stadium lights look cool, and much more. So let's get into it. Starting on the field for warm-ups, taking full advantage of what we have left of golden hour. First, frame of the day. Saw an opportune time to snag this detail shot. I love the way the light was hitting Ian Bell while he was sitting. Similar to the one of Jaden Williams from last week, I love the focus face and that golden light was hitting him perfectly. You thought I forgot about the 11th commandment. Thou must get a warm-up pick of QB1 in pads. That was the last picture from warm-ups. I got a couple different perspectives, and again, this is just telling the story before the book actually begins. Now, time to find a different spot for the run out. Last week, I stood in front of the goalpost to catch the boys as they ran out. This week, I decided to go to the complete opposite end of the field. My goal is to get a couple shots of the players in the end zone in those moments of self-reflection and prayer before the game starts. I'm not an aviation photographer by any stretch of the means, but if you don't get fired up seeing Blackhawks fly over your stadium right after the national anthem, then seek help. With the military aircraft at a baseball throwing range, it was finally time to go. Kiani beat everyone to the end zone, so I was able to get the best shots for him. Obviously a very different type of photo since it's at the end of the run out, but nonetheless, this was a better location than the first game. Running back to the sidelines, I saw head coach Savell partaking in a moment of his own. I like seeing this humanizing side of him. I also really like this sign from the crowd. One of the more lighthearted signs I've seen at the war. On our first defensive campaign of the game, we had some action.
We'll give it to you. That was a recipe for success against the Mustangs. Retzloff takes a shot to the goal line. It's picked off. Intercepted by Rook Brown. The Cowboys get the INT. Retzloff with another turnover. Turnover in 7 starts for
Rook the Crook Brown stole it away from BYU early on, and for only having the 70-200 from across the field, I'm happy with the coverage I was able to get. I was also equally as pleased when Rook got ragdolled into our director of video, Eliza. Just warmed my heart. Anyways, the sun was set and the sky had a faint purple hue that I knew would look good once I threw him into Lightroom. I mean, come on. Purple sky, blown out light, field looking like that dude. Love this shot. It was Candy Crush last week. Now he's listening to Joe Rogan on the sidelines. Someone stop this man. Like every game, I focus on portraits. Some reoccurring players from last week, but not every player is able to sit down without their helmet. Also, got a way better shot of the vanilla gorilla here. I had to army crawl behind the benches to get this shot. Not really, but let's just pretend I did. With about 10 minutes left in the second quarter, I ran into my office to exchange the White Mamba for the 35 G Master. I made this switch so I can use a starburst filter from Film Effects to blow the stadium lights out. I'd periodically use this for basketball since we had good lights, but I'd yet to do it for football. So, locked and loaded, I went to the field with a much wider lens searching for individual hero shots. Starting off incredibly strong. My sole goal is to get Coach Hollinsworth the hardest after-season Instagram post. Don't ask me how to pronounce this last name. In the midst of capturing starburst hero shots, our offense was driving the ball deep into the red zone. Since I only had the 35 on, I just posted on the sideline in hopes that if we score, they run at me and I can get a celebration shot. And that's exactly what happened.
Svoboda's going to take it himself. Pushing, stretching, he's in. Touchdown, Cowboys. The first rushing touchdown of the year for Wyoming.
Just what the football doctor ordered, a touchdown drive by this Wyoming.
It was on. I knew it was about to get good. perfect lens with a perfect filter. The lights are flashing, the boys are yelling, crowd going crazy. And here comes Evan, our starting quarterback who scored and put points on the board. Mean mugging my camera after the touchdown. I was hyped. Shot of the day, I thought. I ran over to John to see what I got, and then out of focus. These had so much potential. The most salvageable shot was this, and the worst being this. Such a missed opportunity. Evan staring down my lens straight after a touchdown. 9 out of 10 times the focus hits, but I have no idea why it didn't this time, but it's just part of the game. After the failed celebration shot, I went back to doing what I know. Portraits. I mean, come on. This filter is just a cheat code. Since this is one of the few times I break this filter out, I wanted to get a variety of players and shots, try to spread the love around the players as much as possible. However, this shot might be the best of them all. Now, going deeper into the game, BYU's lead started to expand, and I didn't want to be in our players' faces on the sidelines. Even though I'm allowed full access, I just didn't want to add to the chaos. Instead of being so individual player focused, I started to take some action shots and was able to capture some eventful plays towards the end.
So now it's 3rd and 13. Svoboda pressured from behind. He'll take off. Take it inside the 35. He has a first down.
Smack that shutter button for this drive. Happy with every picture in this series. My last 2 shots of the game came on a positive note towards the end of the 4th quarter.
Scott's in the backfield. King goes in motion. Svoboda stretches. He's in. Touchdown. Wyoming. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night by Evan Svoboda.
And that concludes my 2nd game of football at Wyoming this year. It was a rough one for the boys, but new coaching staff always brings on growing pains. I was honestly super happy with how the starburst filter came out. It was exactly what I was looking for, and it was good to get that off the shelf and onto my lens. Like and subscribe if you learned something. Comment down below what the best picture of the night was, and until next time.